I am not rock or God or lie. I'm a live devil as help, Lord. I hated thee. I sin up them that you did from Lord. Did I do wrong like drink or smoke you? I am not all out.
Welcome to Blackboard Jungle, Part 2.
And boy, I'm hot, boy, I mean, I gotta be, boy, I gotta say, I know how much you see, boy, the boy told me, I got heard it all the time. I don't know why I'm putting it down.
Testing what? Testing what? You are now in tune on the what? The force itself at this time. We call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. I am the Rastafari, poet, journalist, Ital Iman. We would like to focus here, Zechariah, from the Bible, Zechariah. The name Zachariah, also spelled Z-A-C-H-A-R-I-A-H or Z-A-C-H-A-R-I-A-S, is a theophoric masculine given name of Hebrew origin. It means Yahweh remembers, or God remembers. It is a Hebrew origin. The biblical account in Exodus 2:24 states that when the children of Israel cried out, i.e. the children of the light, cried out in unison, Anunnaki, i.e. Allah, God, etc., remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. This act of remembering signifies God's faithfulness and his impending intervention to deliver his people from slavery in Egypt, currently from our current situation over 200 years here in the wilderness of North America. We are speaking of the covenant of the Master Blaster Jamming, our safe fail mechanism in the wilderness of North America, in the midst of these great information wars. We would like to give thanks to the original upsetters, wailers, criers, poets, bringers, the final prophet, Aki Becca, Bob Marley, Lee Scratch Perry, Morris White, Marvin Gaye, there are more Gil Scott Heron, current messengers, Song Life, The Cosmic Midwife, Stevie Wonder. And for the ones robed in light, separated by the long night, we want you to know we still hear your song, and as it wasn't for you, the covenant would not be complete. We rejoice in the fact that it is binding on Allah, i.e. collective Anunnaki, to answer us. For Haile Selassie, the power of the Trinity, crucified as a Christ at this time. Bob Marley. Give thanks and praises to the last manifestation of the gods upon orb-ship earth, the Emperor, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, 225th King, from the lineage of the Anunnaki, Emperor Haile Selassie. You are now in tune on the One, the Force itself of this time. We call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. I am Ital Iman. Abdul Haq, give thanks and praises. The writer, composer, maestro of the sounds of Philadelphia, give thanks and praises. There are a few more, but there are 7 major prophets, and if I didn't call their names, it's all written in the Holy Book of Wonder. You should get that book. Zechariah 5 explains something. According to your biases, people give information according to their biases, etc. But it's a fact that we have had contact with the Anunnaki in the 21st century, and throughout antiquity we have had contact with the ancient people. Pyramids, perfect example. Currently, the technology we call crop circles is perfect proof, but there have been other signs, symbols of our contact with the Anunnaki. The writers of the Holy Script, Quran, Surah 51, the scatterers, El Dariyat, the winnowing winds, the ones who have scattered the monuments along the power grids, great pyramid builders, the scatterers, Surah 51, Holy Quran, lateral base of great pyramid slopes upward to the apex at 51 degrees. Go to Surah 15, reverse the rock. You are now into verse 51. The rock speaks of Abraham's honored guest, the ones who came and spoke to Abraham. So is it in Surah 51, verse 24. Have not the story of Abraham's honored guest came to you? So we, the Chilam Balaam, Jaguar priest, or interpreter Jaguar, breaking down the walls of illusion that you explore the practicality of correct information. Zechariah 5, 1. Then I turned and lifted mine eyes and looked, and behold, looking up, I see a flying roll. And this roll was a ship. Allegorically, metaphorically, it was a roll, a cigar-shaped craft, bringing information of antiquity. The scroll is symbol of this ship. Many scholars cannot get to that fact, but the reality, it was a cigar-shaped craft The Bible is written in allegories, metaphors, and similes, and every noun has a deeper level of meaning. The academic scholars of Babylon do their thing, plan their plan, but Allah, He is the best of planners. Allah has His poets, prophets, as we have said in a few of our videos. In the days of old, there was no word for poet, so the word prophet was used. Study our videos. Then I turned and lift up mine eyes, said Zechariah, and looked, and behold, a flying roll. Notice the poetry. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And we know the monstrosities, the evil of the slave masters, of the colonialists. We know the evils that have been upon the earth ever since the current powers, Caucasian powers, have been so-called ruling this earth. We know what has happened. So that ship, that cigar-shaped ship, as in the vision of Zechariah, come to reclaim the pyramids, to wipe out the evil. Note also at the same time the calamities. As all the black casualties of war, black people are going crazy. Only another story of Jesus being crucified on the cross. And we know when they crucified Jesus on the cross, the world shook, reeled, and rocked like a drunken man. And we know there are earthquakes happening, storms, water, whether it's man-made, floods, whatever it is, it's all the same. It is the purification of the Hopi, the wisdom of the Dogon, the wisdom of the ancient Egyptians, the wisdom of the Naga-Maya. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself at this time. We call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. Everything is one. From the tiniest atom to the largest star is He. So no matter who is doing what, it is all genetically engineered. It is genetically designed. Allah is as close to you as your jugular vein. And it is written, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts. Now the Lord of hosts indicates that there is a party of men, group of men, Anunnaki, let us make man, humans in our own image. The Lord of hosts will return, Anu, Allah, and His children, and His mighty warriors. The Lord of hosts is returning as the pole ship, hell of a ting of one. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. The house of the thief is the world in which we live. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, the ones who have stole our culture, the one who stole our land, raped and pillaged our land, claiming it as his own. And Allah says, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. Hear me now. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof, meaning Babylon will burn. The Lord will stay in the house till Babylon is no more. You are now in tune. So it is binding on them to answer our call that we escape from the burning of Babylon. We must be out of here before that time. That's why we rejoice in the 11th Dogon Sigi in 600 years, which will be upon us in the year 2027, just a few years away, when the fires of time will fall. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what is this that goeth forth. And I said, What is it? And he said, This is Ephah that goeth forth. He said, Moreover, this is their resemblance through all the earth. And behold, there was lift up a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of Ephah, a basket, Ephah, and in the middle of the basket sits the whore of Babylon, and the top of the basket is covered with a lead covering. The weight of time is sitting upon the basket of the great whore Babylon. And he said, This is wickedness. And he cast it into the midst of the basket, and he cast the weight of lead upon the mouth thereof. So Allah has sealed the basket, sealed Babylon. Babylon represents the basket, and we watch the crop circles and we see the weaving of the last few crop circles representing the basket, representing Babylon. Then lift I up mine eyes and look, and behold, there came out two women, and the wind was in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of stork. And they lift up the basket, Ephah, between the earth and the heaven. Then said I to the angel that talked to me, Whither do these bear the basket? And he said unto me, I build it an house in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set there upon her own base. The scroll in Revelation 5, held in the right hand of God, is a multifaceted symbol representing God's divine plan for the end of time, the title deed to the earth, and the unfolding of history according to his sovereign will. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. So we see the scatterers in Surah 51 points out to us that the Anunnaki, the collective Allah, scattered the great monuments, monolithic structures throughout the boundless earth and the boundless universe. So this ship that Zechariah saw, this roll of this scroll, is revealing the reality of Allah. It describes as having writing on both sides, signifying a complete and comprehensive message, and is sealed with 7 seals, indicating that its contents are hidden and can only be revealed by one with the authority to do so, which is the Rastafari. This scroll is not merely a historical record, but a prophetic document dealing with judgment, Christ's second coming, and his righteousness rule in the millennial kingdom. We, the Rastafari, are the true subjects of his imperial majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie, created a world created unto him by his subtle majesty. You are now into note the sealed scroll in Daniel 12, which was to remain shut until the time of the end. The book of Revelation is understood by many scholars as the unveiling of this previously concealed information. Bob Marley and Haile Selassie have made the ultimate sacrifice. Therefore, we who have opened the seven seals or raised our kundalini up, purified the chakras, lit the candles and the seven golden candlesticks that burns in the seven temples along the river Nile, we are the ones given the power to reveal the message. You are now in tune. Note, a scroll or roll is cigar-shaped, meaning like a cigar, it is rolled. And we must understand that we have come to that time of the revealing. We hope you have learned much from this discourse. I am the Rastafari poet, independent journalist, a black man, and you are now in time and tune on the one, the force itself of this time. We call it the Holy Master Blaster Jamming. Yes, I am.
The people at that Air Force base, the commander had a meeting with the individuals that were aboard this ship, and this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge cigar-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African Americans. They were about 6'4", 6'5". These tight-fitting black leather outfits on, and the weapons that they came out of the ships with, they were huge weapons. And if you've ever seen
There's this 23-year-old kid named Rafael Perez, and he's out of this airport in Chimalacán, Mexico. And this kid, he's gonna fly on his own for the first time. So he takes off at 9:15 a.m. And right away he notices that it's very foggy. So he really has not really a good sense of where he is. He can't quite find the airport. And so he tries calling in with a radio. He doesn't really hear back from them. It's sort of garbled static. So he takes the yoke and he tries to bank the airplane left. But the airplane doesn't go left. It just continues flying in a straight line. The plane begins to climb, and he's not making the plane climb. The plane is climbing on its own. There was like this huge cloud that he was basically flying into. He can't see anything, and he passes out. He wakes up in the cockpit, has no idea how long he's been asleep for, but he's immediately shocked that, holy cow, I did not crash the plane. He also looks out the window, and there's no more mist or fog. It's actually just the open ocean underneath him. And he looks at his clock, and it says 11:30. Took off at 9:15. It's below 3 hours. The amount of time that has transpired that apparently I was asleep for is not enough time for me to arrive over any body of water. In addition to that, he looks at his gas gauge, and it's at 3/4 tank. And he knew that not only is that way too high, but he wouldn't have had enough gas to reach any water body. And as he's coming to like, what's happening here, somebody chimes in over the radio and goes, hey, are you there? And he grabs his radio and he's like, hey, I fell asleep in my plane. I don't know where I am. And the guy on the other end, he's like, hey, this is Carlos. Are you alone in your airplane? And Rafael is like, of course I'm alone. Where am I? And Carlos is like, listen, you're just off the coast of Acapulco. And for the last hour, you've been flying out over the water. He arrived off the coast of Acapulco now an hour earlier. It takes 3 hours to get there. He apparently did it in about an hour and 15 minutes. He lands at the airport in Acapulco. And as soon as he gets off, there's these people in suits that are there to meet him. And they immediately take him and they drive him to a hospital. They drug test him. He's not on drugs. And they also have a psychologist come in and they give him a profile, make sure he's sane. And she determines that he is. And so finally they say, okay, we're going to tell you what happened. When you showed up off the coast of Acapulco, you showed up on the radar screen of who you were talking to. And he talked to you for an hour while you were out over the water, and it was recorded. And I'm going to read to you the first thing that Rafael said to Carlos. The pilot is speaking, but not of his own free will. We are using him as a microphone. Your equipment is too primitive. It is not important who we are or where we come from, only that we are inhabitants of the same universe. For the next 30 to 45 minutes, the voice being projected through Raphael talked about humanity is the only intelligent species in the entire universe that uses warfare and conducts violence on each other, and you are poised for a nuclear holocaust, and you may be exterminated if this continues. And then at about 11:30, Raphael wakes up. No one has any idea how Raphael wound up over the coast, and the Mexican government quickly took this story, buried it, and now you can only access it in this obscure library in Mexico.
El día 3 de mayo de 1975, el joven piloto aviador mexicano Carlos Antonio Santos Montiel regresaba de la ciudad de Zihuatanejo a bordo de su avioneta con dirección al Aeropuerto Internacional de la Ciudad de México. Repentinamente, al encontrarse a la altura de Tequesquitengo en el estado de Morelos, fue interceptado en pleno vuelo por dos objetos voladores no identificados que se situaron sobre cada una de las alas de su avioneta, y un tercer objeto lo golpeó, situándose en la parte inferior del fuselaje. El piloto, con gran temor, comunicó a la torre de control en México la extraña situación que estaba viviendo en ese momento. A continuación, escucharemos un fragmento de la grabación original en la que usted podrá escuchar la angustia e incertidumbre que vivió el piloto en aquel momento, donde reportó haber perdido el control de su aeronave. Después de aterrizar sin mayores contratiempos, el piloto fue revisado física y mentalmente y se reportó que se encontraba en perfectas condiciones de salud. El caso de Carlos Antonio de los Santos ganó gran notoriedad a nivel nacional e internacional, a tal grado que una de las grandes repercusiones que tuvo el haber revelado su experiencia fue la de haber sido acosado por misteriosos hombres de negro que lo amenazaron para que no hablara más de su experiencia. Sin embargo, tan solo un año después, otro joven piloto aviador mexicano viviría otra experiencia muy similar a la de Carlos Antonio de los Santos. Ocurrió a las 8 de la mañana del lunes 21 de junio del año de 1976, cuando un joven estudiante de aviación llamado Rafael Pacheco Pérez, a bordo de una avioneta propiedad de la Escuela de Aviación México, en la que cursaba sus estudios para obtener su licencia de piloto. La ruta trazada para el estudiante consistía en realizar un sobrevuelo a la altura de Texcoco con regreso a la Ciudad de México. Pacheco Pérez contaba con apenas unas horas de práctica, y esta era una ocasión en la que realizaría el viaje en solitario. Después de algunos minutos, su avioneta se perdió de los radares. La torre de control de Acapulco registró repentinamente la presencia de un eco en el radar que sobrevolaba frente a las costas del puerto realizando giros. En ese momento, el controlador de vuelo Carlos de Crechi Obermayer inició comunicación vía radio para tratar de averiguar quién estaba realizando esas maniobras en el aire. Al establecer contacto con el piloto, este le respondió a través de una misteriosa voz metálica que se identificó como un ser de otro mundo. Después de casi una hora, los seres liberarían del estado hipnótico al joven piloto aviador y lo devolverían al control de la avioneta para que pudiera recibir instrucciones y al mismo tiempo lograra aterrizar en el aeropuerto de Acapulco. Las repercusiones de este hecho extraordinario derivó en una exhaustiva investigación especial por parte de las autoridades aeronáuticas mexicanas, y al parecer, al joven piloto se le suspendió temporalmente su licencia aeronáutica, al mismo tiempo de que desapareció de la opinión pública hasta que se supo de él cuando aparentemente partió hacia la isla de Cuba tomando una aeronave sin permiso. No existe la menor duda de que en los cielos de todo el mundo y desde hace décadas se ha venido presentando una misteriosa y extraña presencia que ha interactuado de manera abierta con aeronaves civiles, por lo que será muy importante que se formalicen protocolos de actuación cada vez que se generen estos encuentros.
I am not Ra or God or lie. I'm a live devil as ever. Lord, I hate it, baby. I seen up them that you did from Moses. I did was wrong like drink or smoke. I am like, oh,